feel like a good one, mate?
Yeah, it feels okay. It's trying to do me on the back of that bar at the moment. You see all
it's
that milky
kicked up a
water kicked
huge
up.
cloud, yeah.
It's certainly pulling well. Funny bite, it just a couple of little bleeps. I put the other rod down. I was just about to cast the other rod out, put the other rod down, looked at the rod and I thought, no, just a liner. I thought, well, that's encouraging. It's been quite quiet, that rod. And then it pulled up about a couple of inches. And then I was watching the slack line at the tip and it just slowly went, slowly.
So you fished this on a lead to come off?
Yeah, that's definitely, that's correct. Yeah,
so
no, I'm really...
fish safety and this amount of weed paramount, would you say?
Yeah, there's not loads and loads of weed, but why risk it, you know? It's much better for the fish. You increase your chances of landing the fish dramatically. Since I started fishing with drop-off leads, and a lot of the waters I fish are quite weedy, since I've been fishing with drop-off leads, the number of fish you land to lost is greatly improved. And of course, a lost fish, particularly if it's got tackle in it, is going to get damaged. Much better for me, much better for the fish to get that hook out, isn't it?
Everyone's a winner,
yeah.
Absolutely. That's a good fish, that side.
Thanks for that, Adam. Yeah.
Lovely scaly one, look at that.
It is quite scaly. Let's just not talk about it too much.
Oh, he's really big as well, look at him.
Oh, shut up, Adam.
Saw a 30-pounder under that bush.
Yeah, but you said it was all plain and no scales. This is
Yeah,
definitely scaly.
Oh yes, I'll keep him coming, mate. All the way, all the way. He's yours. Hey, what a perler of a fish. Mate, that is the showstopper. Well done.
Oh, God,
Awesome.
my arm. That was a good fight.
Right, guys, we've got the fish in the net. Now, carp care and how to handle fish is of paramount importance. We're going to show you exactly how to do that correctly next. Simon has got an absolute corker of a fish to show you. Wait till you see this is a real showstopper, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it's a proper St John's carp.
now, one of the key things is keeping a fish in as pristine a nick as it was when it was caught. So we're going to take you through the procedure of getting the fish out of the water safely, transferring it to the mat, and how to treat it accordingly. So first of all, Si, I mean, you're an experienced angler. I guess you would probably...
I think the sort of fish care side is hugely important to the anglers, and it starts from the moment that fish is in the net, really.
Absolutely.
And the first thing, this is a gravel pit. You've got gravelly slopes. A lot of anglers go, you know, wearing skate shoes, whatever, trainers. Boots, chesties, I think are essential.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be dragging this fish to there to lift it out. So come to the fish.
Absolutely.
Don't drag it up over the gravel. Make sure it's you know, fully supported by the water. It's not listing over on that. You know, if it catches itself on these rocks, it'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
So first thing is get out to the fish, and then what we need to do before we lift it out of the water is make sure it's folded flat in this net, and then what we're also going to do, something that you guys at Corder are really keen to get people doing, is to get this fish and the net into the sling and carry it to the unhooking mat. So
because you and I, we're great believers of that. Damage to fish does happen or can happen when fish are lifted in net mesh.
Yeah, absolutely. If this fish was sitting funny in the landing net and I lifted it clean out of the water now, if it was a peck, its peck could be broken by being bent round or snapped. Yeah. I've seen tails that have snapped straight off because people haven't had the fish lying flat in the net. It's folded, so as they take the weight of the fish, it just breaks the tail. And also another thing that can easily happen is the rig gets caught in the material of the mesh. You go to lift it and the hook just rips straight out. Really important at this stage to make sure the fish is sat in the bottom of the net, it's nice and straight, the tail's not folded round and the fins are flat.
Just leading on from that, guys, as Simon said, critically important to keep the pressure on the mouth, or to make sure there's absolutely no pressure on the mouth. And one of the most common things that we see people doing is breaking down the net and rolling everything up together, and the line is rolled up with the net arms, which means it's tight all the way through to the rig. You lift the fish and it tears, and that's a common mistake, isn't it, Si? So
really important.
I mean, you're experienced enough to unhook the fish in the water occasionally. You're going to do that now, or
we'll have a look. If I'm not happy that I can't easily get to the hook, I'd leave it in.
Okay.
Because I think if the fish is a bit lively and it's kicking in the net, you can end up with a size 6 in your finger. But if you can easily pop the hook out while it's in the net, then it's out the way.
Yeah.
And I think
out the way is
just
good, isn't it?
last little point on that is, if you unhook this fish now and go, right, there's my rig, drop it in the water, the first swan that comes past is going to pick it up. So really important to make sure if you do unhook it and it's still got bait on, to get it up on one of the rings out the way so that you and the wildlife don't get hooked up.
Absolutely, good point. Well, shall I hold the net while you can try and pop the hook out?
Okay, let's have a little look. Let's come out easy.
Oh, brilliant. Perfect. Excellent. So rig out the way. I'll hook that into the rod like you said. You got the net?
Yeah, fantastic.
There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Now Simon's just checking the fins are nice and flat against the fish's body. It's safely in the soft sling. There's no mesh that's under tension that could tear or do any damage at all. So if you can get down to the water, whenever you land a fish, good practice, get it out with the sling, not with the net mesh. Okay, the fish is onto a nice big fully padded mat. Let's have a look at what you caught, Simon. I know it's a bit special, this carp.
Sneaky preview in the landing net. Oh, look at those scales.
Oh yeah, I want one of those.
Proper.
Oh yes.
Cracking fish.
Again, always easy if there's two
great.
of you guys, but huge great mouth, immaculate carp. If you want to lift him up, we'll get the mesh out of the way and drop him straight in the sling. Obviously not dropping. Sling's already zeroed, guys. That's good, you know, just make sure you're well organised. We've got a weighing crook.
Well, Adam, you are the best judge of fish weights of any man I've ever met. What do you reckon?
That's a compliment. Oh, you're putting me on the spot now. I reckon he's about 22 and a half.
That'll do me.
What do you think?
That'll be fine. I'm happy with anything, as ever.
I'm better at judging them in the water than on the bank. You pressured me there. Right. Well, there you go. A bit bigger than we thought. I hadn't felt the weight of him. He's a lot bigger than I thought. 28 pounds on the nose. Simon, you're made up with that. Brilliant. Absolutely excellent.
Fantastic.
Well, you can see we're both excited over this. A very special carp indeed.
So we're just going to have a look at its mouth. There was a little mark where my hook was in there, Adam. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the old Carp care kit on there. And in here you've got the 2 bottles and the cotton buds. We've got the mouth and the body. Obviously we want the mouth, so we'll just click that out. And we're just going to put a little bit on that mark where the hook was. But that's very clean mouth anyway. That's excellent fish.
And there's no, guys, if you've got a treatment like that, always look at the body. You know, if it's got a lifted scale or any kind of blemish, really, you can treat it with the body ointment and keep these carp as pristine as this. I mean,
great looking fish.
Couldn't have a better example, could you, Simon?
That's a belt, isn't it? Yes.
Again, another key thing while your fish is on the mat is to keep it nice and wet. You see some people holding the bottle right low over the fish. Fish kicks, hits the bottle, so give it a bit of space.
Yeah. And it's always worth putting your hand over its eyes as well, Adam.
Yes.
That's one thing you see on the fish farm. The darker they are, the quieter they are. So.
Good tip. Excellent tip.
I'm not a great fan of the old stick your thumb in the mouth. That's a bit old school.
Yeah. Well, let's hold him up and see what you've got there, mate. I'm very envious.
Oh, a cracker.
Well done. And that is how to safely handle a carp on the bank, from netting it all the way through. We're going to return this fella after we've done a couple of still photographs.